So we had this awful shooting this week at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. And I want to take a moment to offer our sincere prayers to the families who lost loved ones. I mean, I cannot imagine waking up thinking you're going to enjoy a beautiful day at a garlic festival and then end up being involved in a shooting. 3 people were killed. One of the victims was 6 years old. 6 years old. They stole his life. Stephen Romero, 6-year-old, lost his life. They were all young. Another one was 13 years old, Kayla Salazar. And then the third victim was 25, which is still incredibly young, Trevor Irby. All of their lives taken by this monster of a shooter. And the liberals, they see these people, they see this scenario, and they say, oh, what an outstanding political opportunity to land one on our political opposition. Is that not sick? You've got Gavin Newsom, California governor, this creep, out there saying Republicans in the White House are at fault. He's blaming politicians for this.
They're bankrupt on this. They're on the wrong side, and people are losing lives. And God forbid it goes to anyone they love or care about. It keeps happening over and over and over again on their damn watch. So with all due respect, spare me that idea that somehow this is being politicized because people are sick and tired of this and don't want to go in and see a grandmother lost a 6-year-old.
I mean, Newsom, losers, blaming it on the White House, really? That's your takeaway from this? He says, Jesus, this guy talks like an idiot. Jesus, these guys, these folks in the White House have been supporting the kind of policies to roll back the work we're doing in states like ours, to get rid of large capacity magazines, to address the issue that we're trying to advance on background checks and ammunition. And the Daily Beast is out there trying to make it seem like this act of violence, this murder, was committed by a conservative. Gilroy Garlic Festival shooter posted about far-right book moments before shooting. Of course, they don't tell you what the book is, because gosh forbid you actually go and look it up. You'll realize it had nothing to do with the kind of conservatism that you and I espouse. Daily Beast writes, quote, he posted a picture with a caption that told followers to read a 19th century proto-fascist book. The book, which is repeatedly recommended alongside works by Hitler and other fascists on forums like 8chan, is full of anti-Semitic, sexist, and white supremacist ideology. Trying to tie it to right-wingism, like, give me a break. This has nothing to do with conservatism. It's a godless act to murder people in cold blood. So that's why they don't tell you. They don't tell you what work of literature he read because they think you're not smart enough to go and do your own research. We have to protect you from this information. Well, we'll tell you on this program. The work referenced is a book called Might is Right, and it's by a guy by the name, not making this up, of Ragnar Redbeard. That's not a real name, Ragnar Redbeard. That's not, what is he, some pirate? What is he, like a villain? He's not Thomas Jefferson, that's for damn sure. He's not Thomas Paine. He's not any of the people that we look to for political guidance. He's not one of our founders. He certainly isn't a conservative, Ragnar Redbeard. And in fact, the guy was a socialist. Daily Beast doesn't tell you that. The guy was a socialist, and the book that he posted is Darwinism, which is, of course, a myth. A flawed, discredited, bogus science, which maybe we'll have, because we have people on our staff. I found out today we have Darwinists on our staff. They're going to have to take that up. Here at BlazeTV, we have social Darwinists on our staff. They're going to have to take that up with their maker when they look to him eye to eye. You know, that's a beautiful world you've created. That's an amazing planet you've created. Would be a shame if someone denied you credit for it. Darwinists, please. You know, so this guy, social Darwinist, godless socialist, that's what we're working with here. I'm sorry, but the American right is not rooted in godlessness. You know, Raheem Kassam had an excellent thread on this on Twitter. Should just read the whole thread, but we'll paraphrase it. Explains how he was a godless socialist who urged Christians to be violent in search of socialism. This is a guy that they're trying to portray as an American right-winger? Really? Raheem says his book formed part of the structure of the Satanic Bible. Yeah, the Satanic Bible, extremely conservative. You know, when I think of the Satanic Bible, conservatism, American conservatism, is the first word that comes to mind. Author and analyst Roger Jacobs describes the book as one that is popularly favored by anarchists, white supremacists, Stalinists, socialists, Satanists, and then high school outcasts toting automatic weapons. Well, I don't know about automatic. It's kind of hard for these people to get their hands on automatic weapons. We need to up the gun literacy in this country. But this is a guy, nevertheless, who Raheem points out, writes in his book that, quote, moral codes are the black terror of all dastards. I mean, does that sound like conservatism to you? Does that sound like the American model of conservatism to you? Moral codes are the black terror of all dastards? Oh, you mean moral codes like the Bible? You mean moral codes like the Ten Commandments? You mean moral codes like Christianity? You mean Jesus Christ? Moral codes? Okay, you and your moral codes. That's what this guy is saying. This guy denounces Jesus Christ. He denounces the Declaration of Independence, calls it political. He calls the Declaration of Independence's political conclusions shams, deceptions, cold-blooded dishonesties, and incandescent lies. That's what this shooter's idol is all about. That's what this shooter's idol thought about our Constitution. I mean, I don't know, do conservatives hate the Constitution? Because if so, I mean, that's news to me. Moral codes are the black terror of all dastards. If anyone is lacking moral codes, it sure as hell ain't conservatives. If anyone is lacking moral codes, it is the left. I'm not saying this guy was a liberal either. This guy was a whack job. This guy was a freak. This guy was an awful, evil individual. But let's be honest about who in this country is lacking moral codes in America. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. In fact, the liberals in Silicon Valley are furious with me for calling out pedophilia. You can't call out pedophilia for being disgusting anymore. I'm sorry, but that is a problem. Yeah, I called Jessica Yaniv a hideous animal. I think that's an appropriate term for someone who wants to watch 12-year-old girls take their shirts off. But still, Instagram didn't like it. Instagram, that violated their community terms or services or guidelines or whatever the hell. They told me to take it down. They said, you can't post mean things about this outstanding individual on our website. So you can't find my video on my personal Instagram page. You can find my video at BlazeTV. They're not taking it down. You can go to blazetv.com and find the truth about Jessica Yaniv, but not on Instagram. No, we love pedophilia. And we hate here at Instagram that you speak ill of our beloved pedophiles. No, we love bullies like Jessica Yaniv. We adore moral reprobates. We despise you for calling it out. You know, I can't post about that. But no, people can send me death threats on Instagram. I got multiple death threats for daring to speak about Baltimore. You know, you can't talk about how Baltimore is rat infested anymore, even though there were documentaries and there were speeches from Bernie Sanders about it. Conservatives can't say it. You know, they can send me death threats. That's fine and dandy. The world is upside down, folks. They're trying to make us seem like the terrorists. They're trying to make us seem like the people who are causing these mass acts of violence, when we are the ones who are doing everything we can to keep some sort of sanity in this country, to keep this country together when we've got these nihilistic psychopaths trying to tear it apart by the seams.